What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I am here to do one of my quick hit scouting report videos. It is going to be it's another double hitter. It's going to be for both the Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers, since they both just played tonight on Thursday Night Football. This is officially the first week 3 game. And so the league standings and stuff that I have are updated with, the current, game that was played. So this game included, the league standings are updated. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, Houston is a team that I've had us having a win. That's been a win on my schedule the entire time. They went into this game without Tyrod Taylor because he's got a hamstring injury. And I still have the Texans game as a win. They're not really, they're obviously rebuilding. They're not particularly great. And I expect that they're going to struggle all year. And that's even still with the fact that the Dolphins, even if the Dolphins end up having a disappointing year, don't live up to the potential that we think that they could have, which could possibly be after we saw what happened this past week with us. But even if that's the case, I still have us winning that game. And the game against the Panthers, for the first couple weeks of the schedule, it's looking like that game could be a little bit harder. I mean, they definitely have, and you'll see this when we get to the standings, their offense and defense are, in the top half of the league in pretty much, damn near every category. So, but they did, Christian McCaffrey went out of the game tonight with a hamstring injury, so we'll see how that goes. They did lose J.C. Horn to a broken foot, so we'll see how that goes. He may end up being out for the rest of the year. Christian McCaffrey might not be out for the rest of the year, and he may end up playing in that Week 12 matchup with the Dolphins, but, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But that game, as of right now, I'm still going to leave it as a win. But if we continue to struggle, and if, things don't get turned around for us, and if they continue to have, a solid season, then that could end up flipping. But, as of right now, I still will leave that as a W. We'll just have to wait and see how the rest of the season plays out. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So as you can see, the Carolina Panthers are now 3-0 on the season after getting a 24-9 victory against the now 1-2 Houston Texans. And I'm going to have to pull up, I should have had this ready. I do have this ready. It is right here. I am going to have to pull up the team statistics on my phone because for some reason it's not letting me. Look here, I'll even show you. You see? Watch what happens. So when I click over to team, it just, oh, you know what? God damn it. Well, it's there now. It wasn't there before. I swear to God it wasn't, but it wasn't bringing it up. So I think they just probably had to get it updated. Anyway, I'm looking like an idiot now because it's actually here. So let's go through this, though. Carolina put up 407 total yards. Houston only mustered 193. Carolina had 290 passing, 151 for Houston, a $117 on the ground for Carolina, 42 for Houston, 5.8 yards per play for Carolina, 3.9 for the Texans. Obviously, we know the points. No team lost a fumble. No team threw an interception, so there weren't any turnovers. Carolina allowed 3 sacks. Houston allowed 4. Carolina was 45% on their third downs. The Texans were only 11. That's abysmal. Carolina had the ball for 35-45. The Texans had it for 24-15. Carolina had 8 penalties, and the Texans had 7. Okay, so now let's scroll back up. Let's take a gander here, a closer look at the Texans' performance. David Mills was 19 for 28. Obviously, he's a rookie. 168 yards, a touchdown. He looked okay, for his first game against a solid defense and everything, right? Like, he looked all right. He wasn't stellar. But he's a rookie, and he was drafted in the 3rd round, and it was his first game. So, it is what it is. I don't know. I think that there is a solid chance that by the time we play the Texans in Week 9, Tyrod Taylor could be back, but that will be interesting to see. I think Tyrod Taylor does give them the better chance to win games, though, for sure this season. Mark Ingram had 6 rushes for 21 yards and a 3.5. David Johnson 2 for 11 and a 5.5. And then you can see the rest here. Not much there. Brandon Cooks was 9 for 11, 112 yards. Jordan Atkins 4 of 5 for 32. Anthony Miller 4 of 6 for 20 yards and a score. And then we'll just quickly scroll down through the rest of this. You know, there were, so as you can see though, just real quick, there were potential turnovers. They just didn't actually turn the ball over. So anyway, dropping through here, you can see, like I said, if you like the kicking game and stuff like that, or if you just want to see, you know, a little bit more of a breakdown of how the score actually played out with field goals and touchdowns, etc., there you go. All right, now moving on to the Panthers. Sam Darnold was 23 for 34, 304 yards. Obviously, neither a touchdown or interception in the passing game. And look, you know, so far Sam Darnold has played pretty well through the first 3 games. Obviously, you know, we'll see how that plays out throughout the year. Losing Christian McCaffrey would be huge for them, so we'll see how long he remains out with that hamstring. But Chuba Hubbard ended up leading the way, 11 for 52 and a 4.7. Christian McCaffrey did have 7 for 31 and a 4.4 before he left the game. Royce Freeman 5 for 17 and a 3.4. And Sam Darnold had 8 rushes for 11 yards. 2 touchdowns, though. He did get 2 of his touchdowns on the ground and a 1.4. And then receiving, DJ Moore was 8 for 12, a $126. Terrace Marshall 4 of 5 for 48. Chuba Hubbard 3 of 5 for 27. Alex Erickson 1 for 25. Dan Arnold 2 of 4 for 23. Christian McCaffrey had a couple catches as well until he came out. So there you go. And just quick scroll down. So if you guys want to take a gander at all the rest of this, you can do so. And then we are going to pop over to my updated league standings for these teams, and there are some changes. There are some changes to the Dolphins league standings. Unfortunately, none of them were good. We only dropped down the league standings in every category that changed, so that's unfortunate for us, but we had to update it, of course, after this week 3 matchup got played out. So let's see, total yards right now, the Texans have 944, which puts them in second. Let's see, the Carolina Panthers have 1,171, which puts them in first. This is obviously, you know, they've played 3 games though, so, you know, it is with the week 3 matchup taken into account. So obviously the rest of the teams in the league have only played 2, so it is, you know, context to keep aware of. But yards per game, the Texans are 314.7, which has them at 23rd in the league, whereas the Carolina Panthers have 390.3, which has them at 10th. Total passing, the Texans have 686, which has them at 4th. 888 for the Panthers, which has them in 1st. Passing yards per game, the Texans are 228.7, which is 25th, and the Panthers are 296, which is 10th. And as you can see, the Panthers have a pretty solid overall offensive rankings, whereas, you know, the Texans are kind of, they have some that look good, right? The totals look good, but obviously that's because they've played an additional game. But when you look at their game per game average, obviously their ranks drop pretty significantly. So let's see, total rushing, the Texans have 284, which is 6th. Panthers have 317, which is 3rd. Rushing yards per game, though, 94.7 for the Texans, which is 22nd. And the Panthers are 105.7, which is 20th. In points per game, or points total, the Texans have 67, which is 5th, and 69 for the Panthers, which is 3rd. Points per game, the Texans are 22.3, which is 20th, and 23 for the Panthers, which is 16th. Defensively, the Texans are giving up 385.7 yards per game, which is 20th. The Panthers, on the other hand, are giving up 191, which is 1st in the league. And so if you look at these defensive statistics, now, of course, you know, they're 31st in fumbles with 0. Again, part of that context is there are still a lot of teams jumbled up, but pretty much all their statistics, this defense right now through the first 2, you know, weeks and then their week 3 matchup is pretty damn good. The Texans, they have some decent, placings, but overall their defense is middle to back end of the pack. Let's see. Passing yards per game, Texans are at 283 giving up, which is 21st. The Panthers are giving up $179, which is second. Rushing yards per game, the Texans are giving up 116.3, which is 17th. Just a paltry 45 for the Panthers, which is first in the league. Points per game, the Texans are giving up 25.3, which is 18th, and only 10 points for the Carolina Panthers defense so far to start the third week of the season. That puts them at first. Takeaways, the Texans have 5, which is third in the league, 3 for the Panthers, which is 15th. Interceptions, 4 for the Texans, which is 4th, and 3 for the Panthers, which is 9th. Fumbles, the Texans have 1, that's 24th. 0 for the Panthers, that's 31st. 6 sacks for the Texans, which is 7th, and 14 for the Panthers, which is first. They have 14 sacks so far through 3 games. Passes defense, the Texans have 10, which is 10th, and 11 for the Panthers, which is 15th. And now just for the Dolphins, just to give you a look so you can take a peek here, this is how the Dolphins are on offense and on defense for their first 2 games, but it does include the week 3 matchup between the Panthers and the Texans. So there were some changes, like I said, and oh no, that's not true. There were a couple statistics that we were 18th here and dropped to 20th, but there was one, I want to say passes defensed, we actually went up. But anyway, there you have it. That is my quick hit scouting report video for the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans after week 3, their week 3 matchup tonight on Thursday Night Football. I actually intend to watch one of the other week 2 matchups, so I can, one of the ones that I haven't yet done, to give you one more quick hit scouting report video tonight. So check out for that, and I'm gonna get out of here now. So I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comments section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.